Employee experience, or EX as some people call it, it's really part and parcel to digital transformation, but that's focused exclusively on the internal employees. It's really the pursuit of taking something that's already tedious or complex or legacy and turning it into something that's simple and automated, that also has content that's intuitive and meaningful for that particular employee. And so that's what they really are thinking of when they're saying the employee experience. And sometimes that also incorporates the different types of communication, like a lot of people would say omni-channel communication, where they're using phone and text and portal and email and maybe social and some other things as well, making sure that they are where the employee engages. Employee experience matters a lot right now, but mostly because of retention and attraction of a talent. I think that it's a really competitive market, and there's been a lot of changes, and we've had a lot of fluctuation in employment. And I think being able to retain your top talent is critically important for most organizations. The focus on EX also puts the focus on employee satisfaction, which is probably the top measure of the employee experience. And that's kind of an internal measure of detractors and promoters within your company. And where a lot of you may be seeing that is actually in the external, whether it's a recruiting site or probably on Glassdoor. That's kind of where your EX scores are going. It's even more critically important today because of the COVID era. I think we've had a lot of fluid working conditions over the last 10 months. And I think the ability to deliver a better employee experience is really, really, really critical in retaining that talent. There are three major things that have changed for EX this year. Obviously, the biggest one is the remote worker. I don't think we ever thought of or even intended to go to remote work in the way that it is today. I think that was something that employers were experimenting with but didn't necessarily trust, and their hands have been forced, and we found out that people are still productive and that this is a critical component of being happy and having a way to work, and productivity hasn't gone down. So I think remote work is number one. I think the overall digital transformation acceleration that's going on right now is another big one. I think that overall working with transforming the way that people are working, especially and how employees are engaging, is a critical component. And then I think the last thing that's changed the most this year is probably the focus is much more than HR. That was traditionally the way that people were thinking about employee experience, but it's IT, it's facilities, it's legal, it's having a safe workplace. It's all of these things together that are part of the overall employee experience. And I think that's what's changed the most this year, is it's much more comprehensive. The short answer is there's no one place that we would recommend that someone start. It's very reliant on a company's culture, and that's going to be different between a manufacturing organization, a retail organization, a legal organization, a technology organization, and employees are going to expect differently. So there's no one answer of do this first, except that you should actually go out and talk to your employees and interview them and make sure you have representative personas that you're actually listening to, and make sure you're hearing their needs and their frustrations or what they need more of. That is something that every organization can do first, is to actually go out and listen to people, because that's going to inform your decision on where you would go with your employee experience transformation. The other point that I would make is that you really want to focus on what HR refers to as moments that matter. And that's critically important, that is focused on with employee experience. And just to give an example, moments that matter are things like parental leave and then returning from parental leave, or maybe COVID-related leave and health concerns, being ready for day one for new employees, having seamless transitions for promotions or transfers, and then having a great benefits enrollment. Like, those are some of the classic things that are moments that matter for all organizations. There are probably specific ones for each different industry, but those are the things that I would focus the most on when you're undergoing a digital transformation with employee experience.